The first thing I want to cover is this video on Arknights, since I have no idea like what any of the lore is really. So this dude has like a series on it. If you want to check it out, is that Quasar MLG? So like I'm just gonna react to his shit, and because I got into Arknight Enfield, so I figure I'm not gonna play the old game because I'm just not into tower defense games. So pretty much I want to know everything about the games without having to play it. So let's get into it.
Let's talk about the absolute basics. This right here is Originium. Some of you might think that talking about minerals is gonna be boring, but you need to understand that absolutely everything you find in Arknights is more or less somehow related to this thing.
This I don't understand. So this thing appears to be some sort of fucking energy source that like powers everything. At least in Arknight Enfield this does, but I'm sure he'll get into it. But I'm not like it like powers like it can power like generators, at least in Enfield. It can like power their like I want also I'm sure he got another video on it, but the Originium arts is it also powering that in like different races? Like
If not very directly. Its name includes the word origin, after all. Originium is a mineral that comes in the form of semi-transparent black crystals. Why is it so important? Because originium contains enormous amounts of energy, and for quite some time
yeah, I figured it's pretty much this world's fucking uranium. Although in this world, they got past all the fucking bullshit, like shit that like is the problem with uranium. As in like fucking all the laws that pretty much make it impossible to build those reactors. Man, I'm gonna be honest, people should focus more on fucking nuclear reactors versus fucking solar.
now, the energy found in that mineral has been humanity's main energy source. Most of the historical research on originium is lost, as modern science did not preserve it.
Well, also I think I think it was said in Arknights Enfield that there was like a big scare like with nuclear reactors in this world where like I guess people like he has another video on it, but I'll just describe it a little bit here. But it's like people can get sick from this, like nuclear radiation. And so I guess in the lore it caused a big scare on like, oh, these people are infected by it, so we should stay away from them and shit. But also like they got past like the in terms of Enfield, they got past this time period of like, oh, this is a scary substance, but like, oh, these people are sick, we should stay away from them. Apparently, a lot less prejudice is the thing.
So we don't really have very clear information on how or when it started, but we do know that not that long ago things relied on originium boilers, steam power, thick plummets of smoke coming out of towering chimneys would cover the world's cities.
Bro, so this isn't like uranium at all. Fucking this shit's polluting the shit like coal.
But by the time we jump into the world of Arknights, steam-powered technology has already been abandoned.
Ah, okay, well that makes it better.
There's a reason for that. The probably biggest breakthrough ever made by humanity definitely was the invention of technology which directly generates energy out of originium instead of doing all of that boiler stuff. A piece of technology called the Originium engine, which was capable of directly accessing and using the energy.
Bro, this looks like a fucking microwave with a fucking originium in it. That's funny.
Found within the originium crystals. The invention of the originium engine allowed humanity to fully industrialize originium as a proper energy source. That solved the biggest problem that originium energy and the technology that was used back.
See, I would play the old game, but I'm just not too into like this type of gameplay. I know it's a lot more reading than it is this type of gameplay apparently. like to the point that it could probably fill books, but yeah.
In the day had high cost. It also did stuff like improving the safety when using it, and it made it way easier to use, but that is obviously not as important as the fact that it made it cheaper. It was mostly that which ended up really increasing the speed at which Originium energy was
So this so they pretty much made a safer way to burn it pretty much. Instead of fucking using steam power, they pretty much just burn it straight up.
economized. Ever since this massive breakthrough in the field of Originium energy, products that need a stable supply of Originium energy have become widely available on the market. For example, lighting equipment that doesn't come with a risk of explosion when
Wait, why do you gotta do that exclaimer? The fuck?
using it. As technology continued to advance,
Bro, why do I feel like that was some fucking bullshit? Oh, that I don't know, that's weird.
Originium more and more took over as humanity's main energy source. Nowadays, pretty much everything in modern society
Bro, and now humanity's all gone. All that's left are fucking apparently the lore is all these fucking humanity is pretty much extinct, but like the animals of Terra pretty much became the new like fucking humans. They're pretty much like I wouldn't say hybrids, but like they evolved at a hastened pace.
is powered by Originium. And by everything, I mean like actually everything. Home devices like fridges or kettles, for example, none of these have any wires connecting them to power plugs. They all just include a small device in it, which is filled with Originium crystals.
Wait, so is this at the top fucking is this supposed to be, is this in the game, or is this like the reference he's making here?
The energy required for them to run gets directly taken out of these. Cars also run on
OD-2 before? I think this is like lore from the game that he's that he's fucking like so we can look up the references to it.
Originium. On no side of a car will you see a fuel intake point. There's also no fuel tank. It just has an engine powered by Originium crystals inside of it.
Wait. So they don't need to replace the Originium fucking crystals? Like it just burns forever?
Which is pretty dangerous, by the way. If you shoot at a vehicle's Originium engine and land a good shot, chances are high that the car will just explode. You can kind of
Oh, so light bulbs really will explode. That was a fucking like. Oh, he even brings up Fallout. You could. Oh, that's
compare
funny.
that to the nuclear-powered cars from Fallout. That being said, you can probably imagine that the mineral with explosive properties being included in pretty much every single home appliance brings a couple of decently sized security risks with it. Safety protocols state
That's scary thinking like fucking. I mean, I guess you can always fucking die of carbon monoxide if you have like gas powered stuff, but like that risk is relatively low in areas in Northern America where it's much colder. Because I live down south, so like pretty much fucking everything's electric, so I don't have to worry about that small risk. But imagine having to live with fucking these types of electronics that pretty much can explode if you fucking bang it hard enough.
that during a fire, for example, you should absolutely make sure that there are no traces of Originium coming from any damaged appliances. Don't let any activated Originium dust spread. The risk of explosion will absolutely be there. While you do not
Bro, this fucking power source is so fucked. Dude, like come on. Why would this become the world's energy source?
need to have any knowledge about Originium to run things like refrigerators. Devices that include a so-called arts unit require a so-called caster to use. Usually, high-tech Originium equipment, like for example radio communication, needs to be managed by so-called engineering casters. In case you wonder why magical words like arts and caster get used in this context, don't worry about it yet, we will get there. Generally speaking though, there is absolutely nothing magical about Originium. Originium research is a regular scientific field with a large number of subcategories, and you can get a
Bro, never heard the term that like 200 years ago shit of today would be considered magic. I'm sure fucking wasn't like the someone was like frozen and I forget what the lore was, but like someone was frozen and like he wakes up, like wasn't there a group of people that were frozen and they wake up like later on and like they find out that the world is much different than when they froze themselves in this world?
variety of Originium-related degrees if you study at a university. So Originium is an energy-filled mineral that has catapulted humanity into the modern age after
Bros using humanity, but like are they actually humans or are they the animal people?
they learned how to use the energy stored within it. Sounds quite nice, right? Well, just like with everything that gets used for mostly useful things, humanity has found a way to use it for what it is best at, killing each other. Ever since
Base, let's go, warfare!
ancient times, Originium and Originium arts have been used to wage war. A lot of research has been put into how to most efficiently use it for warfare. Normally, all explosives that you will find in Arknights should be based on the energy within Originium. Since absolutely no arts knowledge is needed in order to operate Originium explosives, you will find military forces use a wide variety of them in combat.
Bro, fucking their own version of fucking frag grenades shit.
Originium grenades, for example, which they just throw at their targets, or which they launch at them using hand-carried Originium launchers. The next
Bro, they have the China Lake in fucking, what's that? I forget what the grenade launcher is called. The one that has the revolving barrel. I can't remember off the top of my head, but fucking yeah, okay, so this is like a reference thing that we can look up if we want. He's talking about explosive mortars, yeah, okay.
step up from that would be Originium mortars, which get used against fortified positions. And then there's the people who completely overdo it. A private company once developed an arts prototype that would be strong enough to turn entire regions into wastelands.
Bro, they really I'm gonna let them go because they don't want to fucking get
Sadly, they never got around to actually use it, so there's no confirmation of that.
Bro, so they made nukes, but there's no confirmation of them ever being created. Well, at least they didn't go into Cold War like fucking shit.
They managed to disguise that prototype as a new power source, which is pretty interesting. And if we
Wait, so they completely lied about it? They made a nuke and said it was a power source?
include the so-called Originium arts, which obviously are gonna get their own video. All of these things are the main fields of usage for Originium. Few things have an influence as strong as that on modern society, for better or for worse. But we have not even talked about
I'm gonna be honest, Originium looks much different in this, on what is this planet called, Terra, than it does on, I think it's called Talos 2 in Arknights Enfield.
really spicy things. Let's get into the big problems that Originium causes. Some of you might think that the safety issues related to it or the weaponization of it are bad, but these problems are absolutely tiny when compared to the following. Originium pollution. In areas with big cities, with factories or with mines, Originium pollution can be found. A couple of decades ago, a scientist by the name of Janet Longfellow wrote an essay in which she states the following. If we don't streamline and improve on our current Originium industry and its waste products, then the year-on-year buildup of industrial waste may bring about frightening consequences.
Bro, I don't want to hear this shit as I'm fucking building up my industry in Arknights Enfield. Bro, what is this, safety shit? We're fucking the Lorax up in here, fucking literally fucking tearing down shit just to build our factories.
Back then, people absolutely did not take her seriously. They in fact ridiculed her so much that
fuck this chick. Literally fucking industry must build.
she just straight up left her own country. But why is originium pollution that dangerous? Well, it is the main cause for the by far most horrible disease that can be found in the world of Arknights. But how can a mineral cause a disease? Well, originium has
Bro, never heard of like iron poisoning and shit when people got too much fucking iron in their system?
another property besides being semi-transparent black crystals that contain
Bro, I don't. They like. Is it just because it's on a different planet, or is well, I guess it's a moon, Talos 2, but like Talos 2, like Originium is more brown than it is black.
of energy. Originium has mutation effects on the cells of living beings. Next episode, Oripathy. Click on the left for a quick summary.
Yeah, I'll probably watch his next video.